Hey everyone, Rich from Mowd. Have you missed the seeding season? Does your lawn need a little bit of grass seed, but you're concerned that it's too late and it won't germinate? Well, this is the solution for you to get your seed germinated in as little as 4 days. Let's have a look. So pre-germination, it's just the process of getting the seed that you're putting in your lawn kind of a head start, get it germinating, get it sprouting, the root going down into the ground as early as possible. There are many reasons why you want to do that. If you have heavy rainfall, you can reduce the amount of seed washout, and it is actually really difficult when you put seed down to keep the amount of water that you need on that seed. That is a lot of watering, so it's going to cost you a lot of money. And the better you treat the seed beforehand, the wetter you keep it, the higher germination rate you'll get. So another thing to consider as well is if you're using grass seed, choose the right seed for your lawn, but also make sure it's in date. If it gets old, you really start to lose the effectiveness of the seed. You'll get much lower germination rate. So this bag's only 6 months old. It is also 100% ryegrass. That's because this particular batch that I'm doing now is going onto a cricket pitch where we suffered from exactly what I just explained. We did a lovely end of season renovation. It all looks great in the middle where there was a bit of grass to offer support and shelter to the rain and wind, but on the ends where they were bare, we've had a lot of washout. So now I need to get more seed into the ground before the winter really sets in. So I'm going to be pre-germinating this seed, or chitting as it's known. You might be familiar with this process when you're planting potatoes, etc. It's just simply giving it a head start. So what is it? Well, we're going to soak it in water. Now, water is really important for seed germination. It'll allow the seed to swell and for the seed to start germinating. But also, I will be starting it off with warm water as well, fairly warm water, because that is what's going to give the seed the message that it can start growing. If you only start with cold water, it just takes a little longer, but warm water just gives you an extra head start. So today is Tuesday. I'm planning to put this down on Friday, so only a few days away. So the process will be to soak this for 24 hours. Halfway through that soak, I'm going to empty all the water and give it clean water. You'll see the colour of the water, and that water can have some toxins in from the grass seed, so just to get rid of it and give it fresh water gives it a head start. And actually I'm going to leave it indoors as well tonight. Only reason for that is temperatures are getting a little bit lower at night. I think they're about 10 degrees tonight, which should be fine, but I just want to give it every opportunity by leaving it in like a nice warm home, 15, 16 degrees, whatever it'll be tonight in there. So I'm going to show you now. So literally the process is dead simple. I've bought these paint strainers, little ones. You can get bigger ones. I like the little ones. It just gives me more manageable kind of batches, especially if you're doing it in the home and bringing it in and out. And then I'm just grabbing a jug, getting as much grass seed in the net as I think is reasonable. Now it is going to swell a little bit. We'll have a look later about how much water actually goes into these grass seeds, and then when you look at that, it kind of makes sense then about how much water's going in and how much water you should be applying to your lawn when you're sprinkling it. So that for me is about right. You could get a little bit more, so I'm just going to gather the top, give it a spin, and then I'm going to grab a little cable tie and just pop that around the top, giving the seed as much room as possible inside that bag. So that's going to go in there now. I've already got, I think, 8 in there already, so I'm going to pop that in there. And then I want to make sure it's in. It's going to start to float until it's absorbed everything. So just pop it in there, and then I just want to make sure everything's weighed down nicely, just to keep it under the water and keep it submerged. But I'm going to pop that inside now in the kitchen, in the utility room, keep it nice and warm overnight. Then tomorrow morning, come out and recycle the water. See how that goes. So there we go, the seed's actually been 12 hours now, so the water is actually quite dirty. So I'm just going to swap it out, take the seed out, clean the water, put some fresh water in there, and then that'll be its kind of second stage, if you like, of pre-germination. I left it inside the utility room yesterday just because it's much warmer. Temperatures outdoors now, I think they're down to about 10 degrees, so I could have got away with it, but just to be safe, left it in the utility room. I did use tepid water, or fairly warm water, to start start with. So I'm just going to get this out now and have a look. So it weighed it down, was a bit nice and heavy. That'll be one of the pans out of the kitchen, and you can see how it's all soaked down in there. Lifting one of those out, you can see they've swollen a little bit. Now you see the colour of that water as well. Yes, I'm just going to take these out now, drop them on the grass next to me, let them drain a little bit, and clear the water out. You can see as well how much water it's actually absorbed. This was up to kind of this, where we're looking, this line. It was up to this line here, and it's absorbed pretty much half the water that I put in there. So let's go and get that taken away. Yeah, so seed back in. What we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that one 9. So much because this is actually for a cricket club. Did the end of season renovation, and the edges, the bowling ends, we had some really heavy rain, loads of it, so we had loads of washout, and we're now into early October, and I just want to get the seed germinated before the temperatures kind of go down. So that's why I'm pre-germinating so much seed. We're also going to do some for a couple of patches around the garden that we can keep an eye on as well. So there we go, fresh water now, all the seeds back in there. So we're going to leave that now for another 12 hours, so 8 o'clock tonight, that'll be the 24 hours of soaking it in water. Then I'm going to take them out and start to dry them. So see you tonight. So that's the end of the soaking period now. It's been 24 hours. At 12 hours I swapped out the water, you'd have just seen that, and it's gone really kind of murky again. So that's why you change the water out halfway. All I've got to do now is take these out and then just let them drain, and then just make sure I soak them once a day for the next kind of 2 or 3 days until I'm ready to actually use it. So I'm just going to pop them in the sink. What you'll start to see, the first thing you'll notice is the seed swollen, and then you'll see this little white kind of puff at the end of the seed, and that's the perfect time. But you might even see some shoots actually coming out. When you see that and it's time to plant, you want to go ahead and get that seed in the ground. That's really it's time to go. You don't want the seed to start knitting together. And you can see how much water these seeds have absorbed. It was warm water to start with, and then this was left inside last night just so it was a bit warmer. It's been left outside today because the sun's been out and it's not been terribly cold. But if you're doing this any later, it's going to get cold over the next few days. If you're doing it any later, I'd suggest you leave it inside. If it's warmer, it's just going to encourage the seed. You're going to get the fastest kind of results. But I think I've got 9 bags in here. So let's go a bit deeper this time. Just saying, the smell of this reminds me of sweet corn, like tinned sweet corn when you open it. So these are the bags of seed now. So let's have a look then. So I can already feel the seed. It still feels really firm. And I can't see any shoots or anything yet. No shoots. I can't see the little, the white kind of puffs at the end of it. So that's okay, because I've got another few days yet until I'm ready to plant it. So all I'll do now is soak that once a day, just to get it wet. And then, yeah, literally for 3 or 4 minutes at a time. Probably just use the sink and do them individually. But that's it now until tomorrow. I'm going to leave them in here because it's a bit warmer. That's going to help. That's until tomorrow.